Hi everyone, my name is David. Today I'm going to do a React project, a front-end development project that is related to the components topic. Okay, so in this project, we'll build the for the beginnings of a web form. The most important component of a forum is the comment section. So we'll focus on building a comment section. So in this project, the file name comment data will have the objects of profile, username, and comment. And the comment section that we are going to build will be composed of card components, which will be comprised of smaller header and body child components, these two. And in app.js will contain the top level component. The data in the comment data.js will be retrieved in app.js and flow downward from app to card to header and body. And finally, in the index.js, we're going to render the full websites. Let's start with the smallest component in the body part. The body is responsible for showing the comment that users have written. It will work with comment property of our passed down comments extracted from comment data.js. Open up the body.js and define a body component. So body. This component should receive props. So props. This props object contains all the data of our comment, such as the username, profile image, and comment. But the body works specifically with only the comment property. Have the component return that contains the comment property from. So return and curly braces props comment property, and with the close p. Like this. Double check with the hint. Yes. Export the body component after its function definition so that it can be imported and used in card.js. So export default body. Open header.js and define your header component. We're responsible for the profile image and username properties of our passed down comments object. So there's also a props. The component should return two elements. One image element whose src attribute will receive the profile image property from props. With the closing text. oops. And h1 element displaying username from props. Displaying username from props. So props dot username. Export the header component after its definition. So also export default header. Nice. Setting up card. Let's take a brief detour back to app.js. Currently, the app component is empty. This is the top level component, and it is responsible for returning the interface to be rendered. In this case, it will be returning an instance of the card component for every comment in comment.data.js. In the app component body, map over the comments array with the argument named comment and return an instance of the card component. In the app component body, so const app for each component, give it an attribute named comment object and the value comment. Map over the comments array. Comments. So also call props and return an instance of the card component. With the argument name component and return an instance of the card component. For each component, give it an attribute. If you were to map over an array called fruits and return an instance of produce with the value of fruit for the fruit object attribute. For each fruit, your .map method will look like. So fruits is the array. An instance of produce with the value of fruit for the attribute. So props map over the comments. So I think we should now I'll stick with the props dot map, and inside the map with the argument comment here, comment, and with the callback function the attribute's name is comment object. Return an instance called card, and the attribute will be comment object equals to the comment. and with the closing bracket for this instance. Okay, nice. You've set up app to pass down information to the card component. Let's put the pieces together. Open up card.js and import header from header.js and also import body from body.js. Card will be the outer shell that contains our two smaller components. Card is the parent, and header and body are the child components. Begin defining the card components. So const card equals card should return an instance of the header component and an instance of the body component. So header and body. Double check. Don't forget to group. Okay. So for the JXX, we need to have a outer div to group this inside content here. Like this. Previously in app.js, you've passed down a command object attribute to card here, which contains an object with 3 properties. It's time to access those and finally pass them to the child components. Header expects 2 props. Give the header instance an attribute named profile and the value of props dot. Where should I? Don't forget to wrap the value of profile image in curly braces, as you want it to be interpreted as JavaScript code. Pass down command object. It's time to access those and finally pass them to the children components. So 2 props. So in the header instance, give the header instance an attribute named profile image. Profile image and the value of profile image to be props comment object and next give the header instance an attribute named username and the value of props dot common object dot username. Nice. The body instance expects a comment prop. Give the body instance a attribute name comment and the value of comment a props.comment object comment. Now export the card component so it can be imported and used. Export default card. Render in an application. Open app.js again and import the card component. Import card from card.js. Wait. So should change it to /card and change this one to /header /body. Then export the app component. Export app, export default app. Open up index.js and import the app component. So import app from /app. As you may recall, index.js is largely responsible for only render the app component. Use .createRoot to supply a container. You will render the app component. So const container equals to supply a container where you will render the app. So to render app to the element with the ID of app, you write render the app component, then use .render to render it to the create root. Create root. I think I've made the notes like this. So const container, and then we create root container and root.render, or we can just like combine inside to create root document and render the app. Let's go. We're having a code review now. The app component does not render the list of the card components correctly. You need to return the map array and use the correct data source. So I think it's in the card. So we should return div comment card change it to this one. We should use the comments.map comment card, and the key is comment.username. Okay. And the card component is missing a return statement. Card component. Add a return statement to the output.jx.